Or Epsilon, for that matter?
Well, Epsilon, we know, are pretty alright at cash. They took NIP to overtime during Case King. So they definitely know how to play the map. Although that happened while Scrim was dropping something close to 40 bombs, so that might have had something to do with it. Penta, on the other hand, they played cash at DreamHack, and there was actually a few videos of them doing very cool stuff, which you don't see a lot of.
Yeah, man!
Which is like the running towers to get people into boost spots quicker.
Oh man, I was like nearly falling out of my chair when I saw that. When they actually did that from T-spawn into mid boost, I was just all over it. That was sick.
They do the same thing with the now that we're on the A site, knifing it out. The boost spot there in the corner.
Yeah, you can jump up onto the railing that's up here, onto the red container, and then actually jump all the way over to the boost stop without getting into these weird barrels that are over here, which becomes really complicated. So, yeah, I agree. That was some of the sexiest, boosting we've ever seen for a really long time. So, yeah, I hope that Penta is going to show us that as well, because that's good fun.
And it's cool to see, because that's something I think most teams don't think of. But it's effective. It's actually useful. So
it's just tough in a scenario really like when you're on LAN, right? And you got the nerves and whatever. Are you actually going to go for that? That was really what was cool about it, is the fact that I'm sure teams could do it, but these guys were doing it in a major. It's just like, okay then, Penta, right? Really cool.
Have you guys ever tried to do jump boosts? Because they look really easy, and they're definitely not.
You should have seen how Source was before they added Z block or Z block.
Yeah.
It was basically just like people jump boosting each other, so you could get from the T roof on nuke to CT spawn in about 3.5 seconds. That's kind of how Source worked for a period. It was absolutely insane.
Especially if you were like once or something. I'm guessing just a bunny.
Yeah, once would 1D 1 or 2 people like while flying around the map. So. I've been victim of those far too many times.
Alright, well, enough of the bad old days. It's Epsilon and Penta. Best of 3. We're now on the second map here, and it's the ESL Pro League. So welcome to the show. I'm excited. I want it to go to a third map because it's actually kind of fun watching these two teams play it out. But GMX, he's going to be the first one potentially to see a target. He does just spot a couple of people, and it will fall back to a safer position. Crystal getting closer, but... yeah, he's going to make his way into Checkered through the smoke. So a lot of map control and maybe a lot of distraction going on over here while the bomb is making its way somewhere else.
There's so much movement.
Yeah, and Bob did get spotted out by FXL though, so I guess that's the saving grace to his death, but Uzi's going to have a really hard time.
What?
Or not.
Or not. He just picks up those 2 headshots. That makes all the difference. Even if he goes down, and he does, that is still immense from Uzi. That's such a big double kill. Completely round-changing, and... maybe even saving the beginning of this half here for Epsilon. The bomb will go down, and Spiddy and Dennis are still alive, but that is such a huge kill. Now Dennis with the 1 return there, flanking around. They almost line up. Dennis roging in, but he's not doing the damage just yet. It's only Biggie left. He's in a 1-on-2, and time is ticking away. He will go down to Dennis, who picks up a triple. So in spite of everything that Uzi just did, it wasn't enough. What a loss for Epsilon. That looked like that was going to win them the round.
Yeah, it went from being almost impossible situation for Epsilon to get back into it. Then Uzi drops those 2 headshots, and all of a sudden you're thinking, well, how are Penta going to handle this? And then in the end, I'm not really sure how they didn't manage to take down Dennis there, because he was running around, having to reload, caught in a corner, all that horrible stuff for so long. And now we see Penta just quickly making work over that A take. And this should be, barring something miraculous from Epsilon, another round for Penta.
I think that's pretty clear at this point now. Scream is trying to put up a bit of a fight from CT spawn. But so far it's been pretty good control here. Robson just needs to be very careful at this point not to show himself with 1 HP, right? So he's the danger guy here. They're going to want to try and rotate him out fast. But look at Foxio's position already. He's looking to box them in. Already waiting in T-spawn. So as soon as they try and push out from A main, Foxio's going to have a bit of a peekaboo moment here. He's going to be able to catch Spitty, but he looks away at the last possible moment there. What is going on? Okay then. Foxio, he's going to make it out, but he doesn't actually manage to do any damage at all.
The timing was unreal. Even the second time when he just unscopes as they come around the corner. Just not his day, or not his round there, Foxio, unfortunately there. Third round coming up, and... it feels to me like we are seeing significantly less C-set 75 action, and I think we had one C-set over by the forklift this time around, and it didn't seem to do any damage. It just kind of went down a little bit too quick.
Yeah, I think more and more people are just going to go back to the pistols that we were used to prior to the ZZ era. Because it's not like the pistols that are left in CSGO are bad by any means. The P250 and the 5.7 are still insanely strong. And on the T side you have the Tech 9 as well, so lots of stuff to work with.
Variety, I think. Spice of life, all that. Oh.
GMX. It looked like he had the opening then, but not quite good enough. Scream, of course, landing multiple headshots. Hit one on Crystal as well, so now Penta have to rethink this idea about challenging too much until more time has passed so they can make sure that bomb at least goes off. Don't want to lose a round like this. That would be silly, if nothing else. They will take down Uzi as well. Scream finally taking down Crystal, and Biggie could come up from behind. Oh, he's actually fallen away. Looked like that was such a big opening. Biggie's, I think, is going to be a little bit too late to the party. They're getting a lot of kills here, which is still good. Biggie's going to go down, and Scream landed another shot on Robson to almost bring him down. So it's an expensive round from Penta, but they'll win it, and they're on the less favored side, so I think they're going to be just fine with it.
And Fox has got to be kicking himself right now. He's $100. He was $100 short of getting an AWP glass cannon there. I think that was the big game plan for him. So now he's going to have to opt for that M4. The M4A1 now also, due to the update that happened earlier today, $3,100 now. So it costs as much as an M4A4. So it's really interesting actually to see, despite the price change, Epsilon Esports still running full silencers.
Yeah. I mean,
no, because they did fix the smoke as well, actually.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You can't see through the same way. Oh, grenade out here from Crystal. It's going to bounce back, and Foxio is dead. So it is a return kill, but Epsilon are still doing a lot better right now. It's Crystal and Spitty who are left, and the Frenchmen have sort of shut down the German team across the board, which is what they need to do. This is their map to win. Crystal goes down as well. Biggie almost sticking that rifle into his eye as he pulled the trigger, and now Spitty's alone.
It just seems like Penta were really trying to get mid-control that time around, and they ran right into the blender pretty much. So this map, however, is much more of a CT side, like established CT side map. So Penta, they get the 3 rounds to start, so they're already going to be feeling pretty good about that. Ben, how many rounds do you think they need to consider it a 1/2 for Penta?
I'd say 6 or 7 rounds is more than enough, really. I think they can be okay with 5 as well, as long as they don't go on a... as long as they don't get off to a horrible start on their CT side. So if they can get to 6, which is not far off already, they should be really happy about the first half. Or they should be perfectly fine with their first half, I guess.
3-1. They do have the AWP on Crystal, and a little bit of wall banging trying to be attempted here, or being attempted in the middle. And I guess we'll see. Epsilon. 5 rounds for Penta might be enough. I think Epsilon just want to have like one of those overpowering performances where everything just works smoothly and it's all beautiful and it works out really well and they can go onto the final map and get a good chance to play here. I think I think Epsilon are gunning to like get 11 or 12 rounds or something on this first half, which could be done.
Certainly. I mean, they're off to a pretty good start already, man. They just managed to shut down Penta in their first buy round. It's looking pretty solid so far as well. Biggie's going to be able to spot somebody out in A main there. That's Crystal taking a bit of a fight with him. But it looks like Penta are going to wind up on this A site. The bomb is gathered here. 3 guys in A main looking to just start pushing through.
A grenade landed dead on Crystal, just flying through the smoke as well. Uzi almost looking the wrong way, but he will pick up the kill anyway. Biggie in the background too, and Foxio are here. Actually, just an almost perfect defense coming out right now from the Epsilon team. Penta walked into a bomb site where there were already 3 people holding, and they just did not have the equipment to deal with it.
So the fact that they've spent so much time, which worked out really well for them on Dust 2, that actually came back to backfire on them here on Cash.
Time. No.
It looked like if they had kept rushing then, that would have worked out really well for them. That B-rush can be so lethal if you just do it quick enough. But the fact that they slowed down also, I mean, GMX managed to put out that pop flash, and it all sort of ground to a halt. That was a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Half-hearted eco rushes rarely go well for your team. So it's surprising to see that Penta didn't really commit to going towards B, because as Sam said, the B rushes are lethal on this map, and if they actually just follow through, they could have very easily picked up GMX in
checkered.
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting the Rec 9 basically, because he was looked like he was about to just wrap around that corner and get right up in GMX's face, and the rest of his team, he was kind of just like, basically.
GMX was running out of bullets as well.
Yeah, you're going in, and then you just die. And then you're like, guys, team, where are you? And nobody's there to be found. They fed you to the wolves.
I mean, that's one of the advantages if you end up rushing someone who is holding one of those M4A1s, is that if you're enough people, it's actually really hard to kill 4 or 5 people with the M4A1, unless you're handing some excellent headshots. So, yeah, if you catch them reloading, maybe that's the chance to get some retaliation going on. We're into the 7th round, and Epsilon have won 3 in a row here. Some pretty convincing rounds as well, and now they just need to keep that up. Really can't let Penta back in the game at any point here.
This is going to be it. Nice boost and nice shot by GMX, but Crystal's there, and Felix is there to support as well from mid, so they are going to be able to turn things around for themselves here. Nicely done by Penta.
They're going to try and catch Uzi. He's falling back. Foxshow is far away into the B bomb site. Spray goes through. He hits the shot, and now he's got the C set out. And it's the nerf version. He's still going to pick up a kill, and now it's a 2-on-1. Foxshow is solo on health, and he doesn't get the flick home. Felix will pick it up with a triple. Crystal with a double. And Penta won that mid-engagement in spite of the fact that it wasn't looking too hot early on. They actually brought it back.
Yeah, it was the exact same round they did the first real buy round for both teams, and it definitely didn't work out that time. Not really sure what the difference was. I guess you could put it down to them actually hitting their shots, but they didn't take nearly as much nade damage as they did in the first attempt. So that's it's good for Penta, but they need to get off to a better start if they want to continue to keep this momentum here. But FXO gets off to a good start picking up Dennis.
GMX is waiting in the vents. Almost caught with a grenade out, but he's going to be able to force Felix back. I do love the fact that Crystal is over here by the ladder, just waiting at the A bomb site. They're going to fall back to B. If they get the entry frag in B and Crystal can catch them rotating out of A, that is going to be such a powerful tool. But if they never get the entry at B, it's just not going to be the same, is it?
No, it isn't. And GMX is in a really solid position to actually... He might have to sacrifice Scream, but he's in a position to create havoc with the German team as they try to take that B bomb site.
Well, look at the Scream. Checking. He's going to flash him in. GMX is going to peek behind the flash, and that's a free kill on Felix. Follow up as well. You're absolutely right, Vendetta. That was GMX's position just working wonders. Crystal goes down, and nothing comes of that round from Penta. I definitely understood what they were trying to do. The other option would have been to use Crystal's position to make it an A flank so that the rest of them sort of push in through main and squeak, and then maybe Crystal, sort of backstabs them just as it happens. It's hard for them to know. They don't have the same overview that we do, but that worked out really well for Epsilon.
Yeah. In a situation like that for Penta, you can pretty much do two things, and that's either have Crystal lead the charge and try to get a rotation over towards the A bomb site, but that, he's actually required to get a frag or two for that to happen. And if he doesn't, then it kind of just gives up everything that Penta have been setting up. So you can't really fault Penta for trying to have Crystal there as the kind of fail-safe to pick up rotations.
This is quickly shaping into a slaughter. So that looked like Penta pretty much wanted to get the round done, and Epsilon were happy to do so as well. Not waste any time, not really, kick anything around, no plant for Penta. So a very, very quick round there. Not a whole lot happening.
Yeah, and with Penta not being able to get the bomb plant, they're actually not going to have the opportunity to get an op on Dennis or Crystal. So we'll see how they opt to actually go about this.
I'm at that point, I wonder if double eco shouldn't have been the right call to make.
Yeah, especially with Robson being forced to actually go for a ZZ. And I'm surprised he's actually going for a CZ instead of a 5.7 or a P250. When he has to force it like this.
Look at this boost. Scream being counter boosted in the middle. And Dennis is going to walk in with a knife out. He goes down. And that's essentially a free kill coming in from Epsilon. Perfect timing once again here for the French team. So maybe they should have forced. But either way, they definitely need to get the kills here. And they're just not getting them. Uzi's going to pick up a kill on Robson as well. Penta just losing teammates left and right. And I don't think it's going to work out. They try for the bomb plant there on Spitty, but eventually they all get mowed down. And look at the money on Epsilon here. This is exactly what they needed.
This is when it starts to get out of control, basically. 2 rounds separating them now, just 4 rounds left in the half. Well, 5, including this one. And this is where it starts to get really dangerous, because Epsilon now, they have money to buy 3 rounds running pretty much. So now Penta, I've got to be wondering. Now Penta, I'm wondering if they're actually kicking themselves for not going to the double eco, not getting full gear, full nades, everything to be able to take a real crack at Penta rather than just getting picked off left and right.
Yeah, and in addition to that, now they have to make the horrible decision whether or not they want to do a double eco now to get an op to try to counter what Foxio is doing to their team.
I like that bait with the door, though. Uzi's going to be able to make it back around on the site, however, and the rest of the teammates for Penta are pretty much going to be killed mercilessly. There's not a whole lot of hope.
I think that's 3 rounds in a row without a single kill for Penta.
The scoreboard kind of tells a similar story. The 2 top fraggers on Epsilon have twice the amount of kills that Spitty does, top fragging with 6 currently on Penta's side. So it is looking a little bit tricky here for the German team. But then again, we did say they maybe only need about 5 rounds on this first half, and right now they're at 4. So a little bit of luck and a little bit of flick shooting coming in from Crystal. That might be the opening. That's Biggie going down, who's been getting a lot of anti-eco frags in the last couple of rounds. So this round, he's going to get shut down. GMX is pushed up in a curious position with the AWP. How is this going to work out? If he kills someone here, they could just rush him down.
Nicely done. Lands the flick, and he gets out with 1 HP. The luck on this guy.
Almost unreal. Do they have a grenade left? They do actually have one on Robson. He can't know that GMX has fallen back to his position, but you can definitely grenade this one. That would be hilarious. But Penta giving up a little bit and actually going back towards the middle instead. If they go for the A-bomb site, I mean, then they might run into Foxio again.
They very well might, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw them actually going through events here. Just trying to get a different angle on B here. And you can see Spitty is moving back towards the B-bomb side as well, so this is going to be a B split, and Crystal is probably going to do something similar to what we saw him attempt a couple of rounds ago.
Scream covering too many angles. Flashbang goes in. Are they coming through the vents? Finally they do. GMX holding the back of sight with just a very, very little health here. He's going to peek up, take the 1 kill. Should be going down, and there it finally is in the middle. Crystal could have got caught as well. It's still not a 100% win here for Penta. They're in a 2-on-3, and there's the spray from Uzi. Connects right through, and that's going to be Crystal going down. So now it's a real 2-on-2. Retake happening here. Felix and Spitty. They have a good crossfire. Foxio, though, is going to break it. And now it's a 1-on-2. Felix hiding in the corner. He wants to fight his way out, but I think they know where he is. Foxio goes down. He keeps spraying, and it's going to be Uzi with a double kill. And the round 1 for Epsilon. Well played.
Really well played. A crucial round win there for Epsilon, managing to hang on just barely. They're going to have enough time for the defuse thanks to the kit on Uzi, but that's a really solid performance once again from GMX. I mean, towards the end of Dust 2, he started waking up, and again, this time around, I mean, he's sitting at 10-5 right now. GMX is having an impact for his team when they need him. Because Epsilon, if they can walk out of this half with 11 rounds on the board, that would be a 6 score line to have going into the second half. So this was a crucial round to win.
Definitely was. Luckily for Penta, though, they did get the plant down, so you can see Crystal's kitted out with an op once more. And when they've had ops up, they have been able to do more damage to Epsilon, but again, Dennis gets picked off by Foxio, and that's been happening quite a lot.
Oh, that's a dirty shot through the smoke in the middle there. Biggie picking up that one. It seems like when we were watching Dust, Penta did get a lot of entry frags, and on this map, it's almost always Epsilon picking up and Penta having to fight from behind instead. It feels like they're going to go back to B again, though.
I'm wondering if for these teams it's really, okay, we got our first round picks, like the maps that we wanted to play, because this is Epsilon's map, right? And you're seeing a clear difference, I think, between Dust 2 and Cash. Epsilon seem to be waking up. GMX just holding down this B site solid, missing a couple of flicks, but he will get the final one there, the headshot on Robson. And again, Epsilon just holding solid.
Yeah, and they were also flanking out. Biggie was coming in from the middle. Uzi was coming in through the vent. So even if GMX and whoever else was holding in that bomb site had gone down, the backstab would have been there so quickly that eventually Penta sort of got boxed in this square right here and didn't really work out so well. So we're into the 14th round, and they might never get that that 5th round that they were looking for, because they are low on money and just have lost a lot of rounds in a row.
Yeah, they're not looking too hot right now, that's for sure. Oh, but it's going to be a very quick play here onto the A side. It looks like Penta are actually going to get the trade. Crystal manages to recover that M4A1, but they aren't letting up the pressure here. Uzi just rushing out onto the side, trying to stop this plant from going down, and he's going to do it. Uzi with the double kill.
Wow. That, actually, I think that was a cool gamble by Penta. Just putting that much speed on, and they caught Epsilon in a position where they had a lot of mid-presence and only one person in A, and that person died only getting the 1 frag. So that's a setup for a really good round. It's just a great retake coming out from Epsilon right afterwards.
Yeah, Uzi, setting speed as well towards the bomb site didn't really go that well for Penta. But that's the opening that Penta's had for quite a few rounds, actually, as GMX picks up the first frag on Spitty. And Foxio follows up on Dennis for the nth time this game.
Yeah. Foxio really coming into his own right here, but he's going to get chased down. Finally, they'll be able to drop that powerhouse. He is currently at 15 kills, tied again with Biggie. Biggie's walking out into the middle. Could have got himself killed there. Bit of a dangerous peek. He's going to fall back to the truck, and it feels like Penta still are just kind of weirdly boxed in here. They are going to get in, and Uzi will pick up the other kill on Robson there. So now it's all on Felix. 1-on-4 for the 15th round. They lined up for him, but it wasn't enough, and it's a team ace for Epsilon, each individual member picking up a kill to make it 11-4 for the first half. Pretty convincing.
Yeah, a bit of a rough start there. I think at one point it was 3-4 in favor of Penta, and after that Epsilon never looked back, and they strung around 3 rounds with Penta not being able to get a single kill as well. That more or less set them up perfectly for the remainder of the first half. Guess the exciting thing now is to see if Penta are able to string around a similar run to Epsilon in their half, because, well, as you said, it's a CT-sided map, so they definitely have the opportunity to do so, but I think they need to win the pistol round.
Yeah, I think winning the pistol round pretty much goes without saying. They can't allow Epsilon to get up to 14 rounds at the beginning of the second half. That gives them way too little room to work with. So Penta, no pressure, guys, but if you want to have a big impact here and pick this series up 2-0, you have to win this pistol. This is pretty much it. They got quite a few nades as well. Only 1 kit this time picked up from Penta, however, so it's all going to be about this.
They tried the running boost. I didn't catch it, and they also failed it, but they wanted to attempt it. I'll be more careful to see if we can spot it. Now they really do need to win the pistol round, because we need to see them actually doing that boost a couple of times.
I like Spitty's position here. This is really cool.
Putting shots through, but not hitting. Now they're all rushing in here. Quick early trade. Spitty will get the kill. Uzi with another one. It's down into a 3-on-3, but Spitty is just darting back and forth through the smoke. They have a huge health advantage here on the Penta side. They should be able to win this round, even with the smokes down and everything else. Bomb being attempted here. Oh, Scream will hit the one shot. Now it's up to Felix. He's very low on health now as well.
He's not going to have much hope here, basically. Walking in, Scream is going to be able to cover Uzi's back. Felix trying to wrap around the corner. Scream with the pre-fire, not going to hit the shot. And he is looking to, like, it's going to be right on the edge here. I mean, Felix could potentially wrap around, but there's 2 members for Uzi. He's going to take out the first man. Scream is now gone. Uzi's waiting, but he's playing it perfectly, using the game sound to stay on the wrong side of the container. He finally takes the fight when there's just not going to be enough time. Felix is going to be able to pick up that kit, but he's just not going to have the time for the defuse here.
Oh. One of those situations where you really almost have to rely on your opponents making a mistake, and Epsilon just didn't really. So, there it is, man. Epsilon picking up the pistol on the second half and making life now very tough for Penta.
It's a shame that Penta aren't able to pick up that pistol round, because that's the round they should have had. And we kind of saw 2 polar opposites of how to play a retake situation. You saw Dennis going out with all that aggression all by himself, and that didn't work out. And Felix ended up being too passive in that 1v2.
And now they're rushing into the bomb site. Merciless Robson in the background wanted to hit some of those scout shots, and he wasn't successful, and they are definitely not going to win this round. Epsilon not playing the slow game, not allowing themselves to be challenged by the scouts at range, just going all in and rushing that bomb site, and that worked perfectly.
Yeah, no complaints, really. This is just confidence now from Epsilon. They know they got the hard job done. Picking up the pistol, that was pretty much it. Now they can just kind of bully Penta. And all the damage, I mean, if they can could like decisively take these following rounds away from Penta, that's going to put Penta in a very bad spot going into a crucial, well, basically the last round when Epsilon are on 14 and Penta are going to finally get rifles. It's going to be really tough for Penta to come back and maintain the mental game. I mean, you may go into these thinking like, okay, it's just eco rounds that we're losing, but if you get beat up in those eco rounds, if you can't even get kills in those eco rounds, it's still pretty hard to come back from.
Yeah, it could be really annoying, though. Good flashbang there, and Speedy with the follow-up as well. Both Uzi and GMX have gone down, and this is not what they had planned for themselves here on the Epsilon side. That's going to be so painful. The only thing that could work out right now is if Penta somehow over-rotate, which you can tell they kind of have here at the B-bomb side. If the rest of Epsilon fall back to A, there might be an opening, but they're going to keep going, and they are losing even more health.
Does Felix get the right timing? Scream is there as well. They're going to go for a counter boost, trying to boost Scream out into mid. Two guys here, however, in vents. This could be big. Get Robson. They have no idea. He hits the headshot on Scream as well, but Scream somehow whips around and gets the kill with 2 HP left. There's a Pro 90 picked up on Spitty now, though. He's got something to use, but he gets caught by Biggie in mid. And just like that, Epsilon have managed to battle their way back out of that trap and work their way to the A site.
What a round this has turned into. Crystal coming through. He almost takes down Fox Shield, but then he gets shot in the face in return from Biggie. So now Dennis has to try and clutch it. He has to get there quickly. He doesn't have a kit. Pick up a double kill and make it a quad in total for himself, and then also defuse the bomb. It's a pretty tough task ahead of him.
This isn't looking too hot. He's looking the wrong way as well. Rounds that corner, takes way too much damage, and Biggie's going to be able to pick him off with ease. He even gifts him an AK, so Biggie's going to be pleased about that. But
Did they play too passively in that 2 on 4 and 3 there? When they were 2 people in vents and 2 people inside the bomb site, it seemed like they could have almost just crushed the remaining Epsilon players there.
I think actually they did the opposite. They played too aggressively. I think it's okay for you to give away the first guy in vents there to Scream, although it's somewhat reckless. But for Robson to go in there and not pick up the kill on Scream and die, that throws it all away.
yeah.
So
Scream
unless you're
living with
100
3 HP, man. 3
Yeah.
HP. Like, yeah, that's how close that round was.
You can't let that happen simply if you're Penta. So if you're gonna go in that duel, you have to be 100% sure that there's gonna be no way of you not coming away with a kill. And if you can do that, if you can guarantee that, which is about as impossible, it's close to impossible, then don't do it. Just hold them off and play for time.
Oh, Scream showing us why they are about to win this map. Some great headshots raining in there. Dennis caught on the wrong side of the smoke out of the bomb site here, and they are just going to basically waft him away with a couple of AKs. Bomb will go down here, and it's a 2 on 4. It's the 14th round. Very, very close to being a completely dominant performance here from Epsilon.
Now, this is just really impressive, but it's also... it gives you hope for Epsilon actually going into the last map of this series, because Penta struggled on Dust 2 to take Epsilon out. Epsilon don't feel like they're struggling at all to deal with Penta on Cash. So you have to wonder that's the thing. Penta have clearly put some time into Cash because they've got the crazy boosts. They've got the skills, right? Now they're not getting the kills, man. That's a problem. If you put the work into the map, you need to be getting more than 4 rounds on your CT side.
Yeah, I think the fact is that it could have been like a 9-6 finish for Penta on the first half, and if they then also win the pistol on the follow-up, which they almost did, to be fair. I mean, I think I'm not saying Epsilon haven't done well, but I think the score is deceptively one-sided right now. There could have been a few rounds that could have made this much closer than it is now anyway. So I don't know, and I think once you miss all those rounds, which they essentially have, you'll probably start tilting just a little bit, right? Start to feel it's too much to handle.
Everything feels kind of hopeless.
Banning all hope, you scurvy dogs.
Yeah. It's not a great feeling going into the third map on for sure, especially because it has been a really dominant performance by Epsilon. They haven't lost a single round since it was 3-4 in favor of Penta. So Penta have more or less been slaughtered most of those rounds, and they've had a couple of instances where they have been close, but for the most part, nothing special.
Look at some really good decision making coming out here from the terrorist side. they actually force, or they sort of make enough noise that Penta rotate a bunch of people over, then they start bringing the bomb back, and they are being a little bit slow about it, but if they move right about now, they might be able to push in at the pretty optimal timing. Crystal has a scout here, not an AWP, and look at where Scream is. If he gets one kill, that might just... he's still... Scream alone is keeping everyone in this bomb site almost. Robson goes down, Crystal misses the shot, and now that's going to be it. I don't think Epsilon are going to let go of this round here, and they won't. That's going to be an impressive map victory. The last one also being, at least so far, a flawless one. Only Biggie going down here, 16-4.